Hey everyone, hello, welcome to another episode of the weekly download. My name is Mitchel Dumlao, and I'm so excited for you to be here. Welcome everyone again to the weekly download. Hopefully, you're having a great day and had a wonderful weekend, and you're ready to crush this week with your video content and your business and everything in life. And today, we're going to talk about the three top apps that I use for me to manage and lead teams remotely. And so, a lot of my team members are remote. I don't have a main office where we all meet and congregate. I actually work with a lot of remote teams, people in Philippines, Canada, Spain, within the United States, and we all do it through apps. And why this is important is that sometimes just texting and email is not going to cut it when you're trying to keep track of tasks, manage a project, keep track of where the documents go, like pitches and scripts, and at the same time communicate so everyone's on the same page. So today we're going to talk about the three apps that I use that really have helped me out. And the first app is Asana. And Asana is a project management and a team management app that you can get for free. And what it does is that it allows you to create task lists for people and also project boards. So if you've used Trello before, which is another great app, you can actually create these project boards so that it's like having post-it notes in certain buckets. And so whether you are a visual person or someone who likes to do things through lists, what's great about Asana is that it allows you to actually create whatever visual representation of a project management board that you want that will make you actually execute a project the best way possible. So whether it's a list of tasks, if it's a visual board of like looking like at if you're looking at post-it notes, or is it a calendar, and you can change the views in Asana. You can also use Asana to assign tasks. So you open up Asana, you can create a project, you can then add team members, and then when you add team members, you can also assign them tasks, and you can actually group these tasks within groups and categories so that you can actually have different types of tasks within a category like pre-production, and you can assign it to your producer, to your writer, to your creative director, and then from there you can keep track of who is completing their tasks, and then you can go to your next category, maybe it's production, and then from there you can have your own assigned tasks to your team members. I like Asana. What I love about Asana is that it's free, and on top of being free, it is easy to access. Like you have an app, you have an online software or an app, and you can get it on your phone. So it's really easy to access, and people find it pretty user friendly. And I like it just because it's honestly it's free, and you can find ways to make it very user friendly to people who are not really tech savvy. And the same thing is you can also duplicate boards. You can also use automation sequences like Zapier so that you can create boards and tasks by triggering some kind of event. So let's say if somebody sends an email, it creates a task automatically through Zapier in Asana, and then it can assign that task to your assistant, right? And so I like Asana for team and project management. The second thing that I use, or app and software that I use, is for communication, and that's Slack. Now, Slack has been around for a while, and people ask me, why not use Discord or WhatsApp or different messaging software, or just text, or even just Facebook Messenger? I like Slack because it allows me to use automation with Zapier so that if things get done, let's say if I have an invoice that gets inputted and sent to a client, I can use Zapier and automation to send out a Slack to me confirming that the invoice has been sent so I can keep track of my invoices. Slack is a really great way to communicate with your team because sometimes when you're just using text, it's hard for you to go back and look for different files within a text, and it just gets really messy. Slack keeps it nice and clean. You get team members who can also contact each other by adding each other. You can DM team members. You can also create different types of rooms, and it allows you to just keep everything in one place and have your team communicate with each other. You could do video calls, you could do audio calls, and there's so much you can do with Slack. And that's why a lot of people and a lot of businesses use Slack, because it is very robust and it is versatile on its uses. So I use Slack for communication. So Asana for management, like tasks and project management, like what's next on the task list for this project to get produced. And then you have Slack for communication, so people can talk to each other. The third thing that I use, of course, is Google Suite. And so I think that if you've had a Gmail for all these years, you've realized how robust the Google Suite has become and how useful Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive, even Google Slides has been, and Google Forms in creating free assets that allow you to keep things in order. Like Google Sheets took over Excel, Google Docs took over Word, and so on and so on. And so I think that having the Google Suite is very important. If you have an email, you can also sign up for Google Workspace, and it gives you a set amount of terabytes in your Google Drive. And why this is important when it comes to video production and leading a team is that sometimes you need a Google Drive to store scripts, store creative briefs, store assets from the client when you are working with a remote editor. So this is a really great place to upload proxies if you're working with a remote editor and you have high quality video content and raw footage. I usually export them into proxies, MP4, like 480 p videos. I then upload it to my Google Drive. I then share it with my remote editor, and then they can use those proxies and a Google file, a Premiere file to upload back to me so that I could also have that access file so I can then relink those proxies to the high quality, high definition, and the original definition footage. And that's my workflow when working with remote directors, because it's really hard to send 500 gigabytes of footage, of 4K footage. It's best to have proxies and do proxy editing. And the way that I do that is uploading to Google Drive. And why I like Google Drive over Dropbox or WeTransfer is that Google Drive, I have unlimited. I got grandfathered in, luckily, from Google Business way back in the day. And so I have unlimited storage. And for me, Google, it's connected to so many other apps in the suite. Google Docs, Google Sheets. You also have slides and forms, and all of that really goes well together when you're collaborating with a team. So let's say your team has a tracking sheet that tracks all of your outreach for your emails or your ads, or even just the budget for a shoot. You can create a Google Sheet, and you can share that Google Sheet with people within your organization so that you can all see and also manipulate and modify a budget. All right, so that's really important. And then also you can use Google Docs for outlines and treatments and scripts. You can collaborate with your clients. So I'm doing this right now where I create scripts and outlines and treatments within a Google Doc, and I open up the share option. This link can be shared with anyone. So anyone who has this link becomes an editor. And then you can actually have a collaborative experience with your client in real time. So you don't have to open up Word Docs, make a revision, send it out, and then whoever wants to make a revision would have to then download and then upload and then open up in Word, make their edits, and then send it out to the group. Like, it's very archaic. What you really want to use is Google Docs when it comes to collaborative Word and text experiences, when it comes to scripts and outlines. And it's the same thing with Google Slides. So let's say you want to create a creative brief, or actually a mood board, or a treatment, or a pitch deck. You can actually use Google Slides to collaborate with a designer, and then your editor, and then your producer, and then your director, and anyone in the creative director, anyone who's involved with the creative process. Like, this is a really great way for you to really leave notes and make modifications with the group knowing. There's other, of course, apps out there that you can do this with, but to have it all under the Google Workspace and Google Suite, it just makes it very convenient. And at the same time, I like to use the Google Forms as well whenever you have surveys and you want to send it out to clients for client satisfaction or whatnot. And so those are the three apps that I feel are really essential when you're managing a team, especially a video team. Asana to keep your tasks and your project management tasks and things that need to get done all in one place. And then also Slack for communication, so people can communicate with each other and everything's in one place. And you can also use automation to message people when certain events get triggered. And then you have Google Suite for file storage and collaboration on documents like Sheets, Docs, Slides, Forms, and of course the Google Drive to upload proxies for editing or just regular files, like the logo of your client, the script, the creative brief, fonts, whatever you need so everybody can be on the same page and have access to files. So those right there are my top 3 apps. Hopefully that was helpful for anyone out there who has a video business or just a business in general, or even a freelancer out there that wants to manage a team remotely and communicate with a team remotely and have everything organized in one place, one Google Drive, and then one place for Slack, and then one place for Asana. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully this is helpful. Please feel free to share this with anyone you think would find this helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and follow. I really do appreciate everyone supporting me out there. And if you have any questions, let me know, or you can email me at mitchell@videcontentschool.com. And also let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover, so we'll help you out in your journey. Okay? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.